everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Cause of the Week Lunch and Learn highlight. My name is Christy Kennel, Associate Director for the Combined Federal Campaign. This week, we are talking about disaster relief. And many CFC-supported programs rush in when disaster strikes, saving lives and keeping communities safe. We have a few charitable organizations joining us today to share their work within disaster relief.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Hernandez, Associate Director with the Combined Federal Campaign. Joining us today is Mr. Edward Perry from 211 Tampa Bay Cares. Welcome, Edward.
Hi, Jacqueline. How are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Good.
Thank
you for having me today.
Of course. Could you please tell us more about 211 Tampa Bay Cares and the services that you offer?
Sure. So 211 is a free 3-digit dialing code for health and human service information. It was set aside by the Federal Communications Commission back in 2000. And there are approximately 230 211 centers in the United States. We are one in Florida that serves primarily two counties in Florida, Pinellas and Hernando County, out of the 10 211 centers that are located in Florida to provide services to Florida residents. We have been in operation for more than 50 years. We started as a crisis center and became a 211 center and do a blended 211 center where we answer both crisis calls and information and referral calls on local health and human service information. We offer a variety of services. We have services for children and families. We have a Help Me Grow program that helps children that have families with children 0 to 8 years old to help with their developmental education and behavioral milestones. We have several financial assistance programs, us being the largest financial assistance program in Pinellas County, that we help our residents with helping with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, smattering of other things, depending on the funding sources and the uniqueness of their case. So we process about $1.5 million a year related to that. So we have programs for families with our Family Services Initiative program. We have for adults and families without minor children and our Adult Emergency Financial Assistance program. And then we have general information referral to help with general human service information. We have a crisis program to help with mental health, substance abuse, active mental health callers that call and need support when their therapist is not open or the mental health agencies are not open. And then we have our disaster programs that help when there's a need in the community, when an event happens, and we can share some stories about that in a little bit. And then lastly, we have a veteran peer support program and our homeless hotline to help folks that are transitioning back from the military back to civilian life, and folks that are struggling with homelessness and on the streets and needing to get connected to places to stay.
Thank you so much for sharing. Could you tell us a bit more about the disaster relief services that you offer?
Sure. So our disaster relief services can be event specific. So it depends on the event that transpires. So if a hurricane comes through Florida or somewhere in the United States, we can support both our community and other communities, providing simple information referral, letting them know where local disaster resources are, whether it's them understanding what their evacuation zones are, all the way to food and water resources, electricity resources, any kind of basic needs information that happens in a community, usually it's sandbags, those kinds of things. We've helped out other 211 centers out west when they've had the wildfires and their call volume increases significantly. The 211 network will jump in and help in other areas. So we've supported and texting services with some of our colleagues out in the West. Recently, we've really helped out in the pandemic. We were awarded the CARES program So the original federal funds that came down to support the pandemic relief uh, through Congress, we were able to distribute $23.6 million to the community, help over 8,000 families keep their homes and stay connected in their apartments in the middle of the pandemic. So we did a lot of work. That was about 9 months of working to talk to families and households and make sure that they get connected with the services they need. We supported rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, internet to keep the kids going back to school, water, gas, those kinds of things, paying for that. Most recently, we had an incident where a car drove through someone's house, and the family, a couple of members in the car died, as well as some of the family members in the house as the car drove through. So the family that was left in that household, supporting them to immediately get out of the house and working with the American Red Cross to set them up in a hotel, get them on their feet, and make sure we got them connected to some long-term case management programs that could help that family navigate more into a new permanent housing situation, as well as wrap some future support around that family as they're navigating with deaths in the family, as well as the court case and homeowners insurance and those kinds of things.
Well, thank you so much for sharing such enlightening information. We truly appreciate you being with us today.
No
Thank you
problem.
so much.
No problem. Thank you.
My name is Julie Dudley, and I'm the Associate Director for the Combined Federal Campaign. Our cause of the week is disaster. I have the pleasure in introducing Steve Moore, Disaster Program Manager from the American Red Cross. Welcome, Steve.
Hi, Julie. It's great to see you.
And you. I know the American Red Cross has 4 core services: disaster, armed forces emergencies, blood, and health and safety. Can you tell our federal workers how their financial support helps the Red Cross in times of disaster?
Well, certainly. The American Red Cross, our mission is to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies, disasters by mobilizing the power of our volunteers and the generosity of donors. So with monetary donations, we can provide limited financial immediate assistance to those affected by home fires, as well as larger events like tornadoes and hurricanes. And with the money, we can actually focus our purchasing for material that best supports those in need for that individual disaster and support also the volunteers that are on the ground assisting.
You mentioned home fires. I know this is a devastating time for individuals and families who've lost everything. How has the pandemic affected how you and your volunteers assist?
Well, the mission of providing relief, that has not changed. The way that we provide that assistance, we've had to make some adaptations. The safety of volunteers and clients, of course, is our #1 priority. So we've had to adapt some safety precautions and procedures to minimize the infection and transmission of COVID.
Great. With the pandemic and with hurricane season on us now, Red Cross are known for opening shelters. What impact has that had on the Red Cross?
Well, across our whole service delivery, we are using technology to assist virtually whenever possible. And for in-person, which you just can't provide the same service without being, with people. So we're encouraging all volunteers and staff to be vaccinated. And of course, the use of face coverings. We use screenings as well as social distancing and keeping people as separate as possible whenever we can.
And safety is a priority, obviously. Well, thank you, Steve, for joining us today and providing such an insight into the Red Cross.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for your generous donations. Without the donations that you provide, we will be unable to provide any of the life-sustaining assistance to those in need. So thank you all.
And also, you're always looking for volunteers. Is that the case?
Oh, yes. We're always recruiting. Anytime I'm out in a parking lot somewhere, I'm willing to tell about my Red Cross story. And if you're interested in providing volunteering with the Red Cross, just visit redcross.org and you'll see the volunteer tab, and you can click that and you'll be on your way on your volunteer journey.
Fantastic. And thank you again.
Thank you, Julie.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? Many are not. And with your help, CFC Charities Supporting Disaster Relief can help communities prepare and improve response times for natural disasters, as well as deliver critical necessities to those in the wake of a disaster. At this time, we would like to thank the organizations who were able to talk with us today. We are grateful for the work that you do within our communities. The CFC provides awareness to over 2,000 charitable organizations, and you can help provide relief for communities in need and be the face of change at givecfc.org.